In today's video, we are looking at the popular webinar software service called Webinarjam, and I'm going to be doing a full-blown review and showing you the inside of the software and how it can help you and your business, as well as discussing the free trial and the pricing options that come with Webinarjam once you order through our special link that you see below this video on this page. So what we're looking at right now is if you click on the link below, if this is something that you know that you want, you're just looking for the best pricing options, and you click below, then this is going to take you to the sales page for Webinarjam, which is what we're looking at here on this page. And you can get all the juicy details about what this does and all the features and all the benefits for Webinarjam. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can click right here that says start your free trial today. Now, this is not the regular sales page for Webinarjam. You got to click on the link that's below this page. It's going to take you to a special page that we have set up with Webinarjam that's going to get you this 60-day trial where you don't pay anything today. And this is going to lock you in at a discounted rate, as you can see right here, for $479 per year. Now, if you were to compare this to comparable services like GoToWebinar and some of that stuff, then this is a tremendous savings. This is a tremendous deal for those of you that are wanting to use webinars in your business. And again, you don't pay anything today, and you put it to the use. You get full access to the software for the next 60 days. So what that means is you can get an account today, you can start using it, and then start profiting from it, and then your investment will be due in 60 days at the discounted rate of $479 a year. So hope that makes sense. And for now, let's talk about what you're going to be getting and take a look inside the members area in the dashboard. All right, so this is the webinar dashboard. This is a web-based software. This is not something that you have to run on your computer or anything like that. This is all done through a web-based application, and it makes it super, super simple to be able to crank out webinars and be able to broadcast these to your audience and to your fans. So you can see right here at the top of the dashboard, this is pretty self-explanatory. You got the quick start guide. This tells you how to get started. Then you've got my webinars. This is your past webinars that you've done or the webinars that you've got scheduled. And then you've got new webinar. This is where you're going to schedule the new webinars. Then you've got analytics. This is to get the analytical details of your audience and your attendees and whatnot. And then you've got a training on how to get the most out of the software. So let's go into what everybody wants to know, and that is how to set up a new webinar. So you just click right here, and this gives you two options. You've got the express configuration, which takes you just a couple of seconds to get this set up. Literally, if you click on this, this gives you the option to set up the webinar right away. So what's going to happen is you just enter your webinar name, your title, and your description, and then you fill out your hosting information. You click confirm, and this is going to spit out the links that you can use to get people on your webinar. And in this case, this is those webinars that you can use in the instance that you just want to put something out on the fly, maybe something impromptu, and you want to drop it into maybe a Facebook group or something like that, and you want to just have almost like a meetup, if you will. Now, what you're going to be spending most of your time with is the full configuration. These are a little bit more detailed, although it is very easy to set up, as you're going to see. So this first page here is your configuration. This is just where you configure the basic details of your webinar, just that we talked about before. Then you configure the webinar provider and the presenter. I'm going to look at the webinar provider. So if you click on this, this gives you three different options. You can use Jamcast, which is built into your webinar Jam platform so that you can start using it. You can also use YouTube Live, and this is going to broadcast to your fans and your audience on YouTube. Or you can use Facebook Live, and that's going to go to your friends, your friends list, and your broadcast on Facebook. So the choice is up to you. But once you fill this out, then you just go through this process one by one. So you got configuration. This is where you schedule the webinar, where you set up what days you want it, whether you want it to recur and whatnot. Then you've got the registration. This is where you pick out the registration page. They have it built in with all these different templates that you can pick from, and they also sort these based on which ones perform better among Webinarjam users. So they will sort these based on where the higher opt-in rates are. And the cool thing about this is this will integrate with your autoresponder and your newsletter, your email newsletter provider. So then you've got notifications. This is where you're going to be going into where you can detail the emails or the SMS that is going out to the people that register for your webinar. So it's important that you not only get people to register for your webinar, but also that you have follow-ups with them, so that way you can let them know about and remind them about when the webinar is when it's going, their registration link, as well as a replay link, and that's all built into the notifications tab right there. Integrations, this is where you will integrate with your autoresponder service, as well as tracking apps such as your Facebook retargeting code or your Google retargeting code. Thank you page, this is where you set up your thank you page. There's several different designs that you can pick for the thank you page, and that is all built in right there. And then you've got the live settings. This is where there's a lot of different configurations that you can use with Webinarjam to configure with live, such as presenting a product available and having polls and different types of settings that you can set up for the live room. Then you've got the replay. You can set up a replay that will be displayed inside the Webinarjam platform as well. And then you've got finish. And once you're done, this is going to spit out a couple of different links for you where you can send people to register for your webinar. And then you've got the link that you go to broadcast your webinar. So it's very easy to do. This is the simplest webinar platform that I have tested, and I've literally tested them all. And the cool thing about this is this will integrate with your EverWebinar account as well. So what you can do is, if you've got an EverWebinar account, then you can scroll back between each of these. Now, someone may ask, well, what's the difference between Webinarjam and EverWebinar? Well, Webinarjam allows you to do live webinars. Just so if you're going to have a webinar and say, let's say you want to schedule it for Tuesday this week at 7 o'clock, and you want to invite people to jump on that webinar, that's where you would use Webinarjam. EverWebinar is a evergreen webinar system. So what that allows you to do is upload a video and use that as sort of an evergreen platform for that webinar. Now, here's where this gets good is once you have a successful webinar on Webinarjam, then you can then automatically convert this over into the EverWebinar platform to run it as an evergreen platform. Okay, so these will work hand in hand if you have both accounts. If you don't have both of them, that's perfectly fine too. You can use one or the other, but I highly recommend both softwares if you're planning on using webinars to their fullest. To get started though with Webinarjam and the free trial pricing that we talked about, then click on the special link that we have set up below. That's going to take you to where you can get a free trial for the next 60 days, and then you're locked in at the discounted rate at $479 a year. So hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and talk to you soon.